Welcome to this week's version of Stories of Hope Live. We hope that you had an amazing 4th of July if you are here in the United States. If you're a Canadian, happy Canada Day to you. I believe that was July 1st, if I'm not mistaken. So this week we are going to be talking about fueling your body, the importance of proper nutrition. We've been making our way through those 6 pillars of health. But first, before we go into that, let's look at this testimony. So one of our products that has an amazing amount of nutrition in it is the Solle Complete powder. So a lot of people think of it as like a protein powder or a weight loss powder or whatever, but it's actually jam-packed with nutrition. And so this is a testimony from Blanca saying, being hypoglycemic, I have been able to stabilize my sugar using Solle Complete Protein Dutch Cocoa and natural. I don't have to worry about my sugar dropping. It also helps balance me out with my immune deficiency. So that's amazing. That is an amazing testimony. Of course, I have to step in here and say, please check with your doctor about all of these things because we can't diagnose, prescribe, blah, blah, blah. But it is an amazing product nutritionally if you're looking for that. So as I said, we're going over the 6 goals for success. These are 6 lifestyle goals that we should always be in pursuit of. And so last week we talked about taking adaptogens and these amazing things that are in all of the Solle products, and Tiffany DeLuisi did a great job of walking us through them. And this week we're going to be talking about nutrition with my friend Denise Norbut. So Denise, I'm going to toss it to you. Go ahead and take over.
All righty. Well, that looks yummy. Yes, give me some. Okay, well, each and every cell in our body has work to do, and they produce energy and also help with detoxification. We have all kinds of cells. We have stomach cells, bone cells, skin cells, eye cells. We are entirely made up of cells. And so what we eat is the primary component for our cells to be able to produce energy and detoxify. And so therefore, nutrition is really one of the most effective ways that we can impact our overall health and well-being, even down to that cellular level. So we are all faced with chronic stress these days, and we have learned recently that a lot of it we can't control. So we want to focus on the things we can control, and one of those is what we eat, because our food can be a big stressor, as the next slide is going to show us. The standard American diet, or SAD diet, is very sad. It's full of refined sugars and chemicals, and really, these foods are stressful to our body because we're not designed to eat those things. Our body doesn't recognize them and know how to break it down. So our cells can't make energy from that. So think about it like putting diesel fuel in a Learjet. That is really going to gunk up the works, okay? That's a technical term, by the way. So yes, it's not made to run a Learjet, and the jet is not going to have enough energy to get off the runway. So that definitely parallels to us. What our bodies were designed to recognize and to utilize is whole foods. Things, our macros, like our good proteins, fats, and carbohydrates that are full of the micronutrients too. The vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, and antioxidants, all those good things, and fiber. Those are the things that remove stress from our body, because that is what our body was designed to utilize to produce energy. So next slide. Okay. So since this is just an overview, let's real quick just take away a couple of actionable steps that we can take in order to really impact the way we live our daily lives and to be able to live them more fully and with more joy. So the first thing is, let's read labels. I know that on the back of food products, we have the box, right? The box with the macros in it. And that is normally what we look at. But there's another part of the back of the label, which is the ingredients. And kind of in my mind, that is maybe even more important than the box. So one tip when you're reading labels is the first ingredient has the most of it in there, in the product, and second, the second most, and on down the line. So let's look for things first that we can eliminate or reduce to reduce the stress on our bodies. And the first one, I bet you can guess, because almost every person I know deals with loving sugar, and it might even be a sugar addiction. So this is the thing that I really think could have the most impact in our lives and in the way that we feel. So when you're looking for sugar on a label, look for the ending of the word OSE. So things like dextrose, sucrose, fructose, those are all types of sugar. And there are a lot. So just look for that OSE and be aware that there's probably multiple OSes in your product, which when added up would make it seem like there's a lot, which would make it a lot more than it seems on the label. So I think that would have a huge impact. And then also look for the bad fats, the seed oils, the trans fats, the hydrogenated oils. These all are the oils that our body doesn't recognize. Again, the seed oils would be something like cottonseed, corn oil, safflower, canola. That one you see a lot, okay? Those are toxic for several reasons. One is because they are extracted with really harsh chemicals, and then they're usually bleached to make them bland and palatable so that they don't conflict with other flavors in the processed food. So this is really a huge thing that we could do to improve our nutrition too, is get the bad fats out. And then if there's something on there that you can't pronounce or you don't know what it is, I would say avoid it, because the government actually allows over 10,000 chemicals in our foods today. Yeah, that's kind of scary. So, you know, it's better just not to eat those things if you don't know what it is. And then incorporate whole foods into, this is like something we can do on the positive side, right? We can eliminate some things and we can add some things. So I don't know about you, but probably the biggest struggle I face is getting enough vegetables. How many times have you pulled out those carrots from the bottom of the drawer that you intended on eating, but didn't quite get to them, and now they're kind of gross? So anyway, incorporating leafy green vegetables and low glycemic vegetables, those that don't spike our blood sugar, those would be a really great way to impact our nutrition for the better. And then low glycemic fruits. I love berries. I have berries every day because they're so full of nutrition. And you know, when you're picking your whole foods, pick colorful foods, because that shows you're getting a variety of nutrition. And so another thing is, like, you want an idea for a snack that won't make your kids bounce off the walls. Well, I like to slice up an apple. I prefer green apples because they are lower glycemic too. And then put peanut butter or almond butter on them. And that's a really yummy, nutritious snack. And then let's utilize the power of adaptogens. So adaptogens are a great way to fill in all those gaps. Like it's inevitable. We are going to have gaps in our nutrition just because of our lifestyle, just because of the food itself these days. So the Solle adaptogenic blends have amazing amounts of those nutrients, the phytonutrients, the minerals, the vitamins, and they're tested. You don't have to wonder if they're in there. They are in there. So anyway, that is a really, really potent boost to our mood and our energy because of that concentrated nutrition in Solle's adaptogenic blends. So remember, it's really important to combine a healthy lifestyle with nutrient-dense food, our tabletop nutrition, and our supplementation, our countertop nutrition, which is the adaptogenic herbs from Solle. By doing those things together, we're giving our body really, and our mind, the ability to not only survive this stressful world we live in, but actually to thrive in it. So thanks, Kristen, for letting me share something I'm really passionate about.
Well, and I'm always learning from you, and I love that. What did you call it? Countertop nutrition and tabletop nutrition? I love that. And that's so catchy. So I'm gonna have to steal that from you. So yes, thank you so much. And that is something we're always working on. There is no perfection. I like my donuts here and there. But something definitely to focus on. So speaking of amazing adaptogenic herbs and nutrition, we have Cassie here. She sent us a recording talking about how she could feel the difference because it's so nutrient dense. So let's go ahead and listen to this recording from Cassie. And I hope that you guys enjoy what she has to say.
Hello, I'm Cassie Albinson, and I've been with Solle for almost 4 years. The difference between this nutrition and the other items that I had done for probably the last 10 years prior was I feel it. I did not feel that I was getting what I was buying before. And it didn't take long for me to feel the effects of clear, for me to feel the difference in neuro I am. And then start a cinnamate in the morning when your stomach is empty. Instead of doing a coffee, we did cinnamate and could feel that nutrition. So that is something that was so different when starting with Solle, and something that we'll continue to do monthly. I can't imagine not doing it, because it also makes meal planning so much easier, knowing that I'm getting my nutrition in a pure form, and I can relax a little bit on the 10 servings of fruits and vegetables that a lot of us don't even get. So getting nutrition this way is actually helping me age more gracefully. I see many people that are Paul and my age that are depending on other things to help them feel better. And when you can find this in a food form, in a plant form that actually benefits us, that is something to look forward to every year when we celebrate our birthdays. So I thank you so much for letting me share that difference. And it's not something that I ever thought of before, but it's something that is relevant and very apparent with Solle nutrition. Thank you.
I love that. And Cassie did not share her age there, but I can tell you she is aging beautifully inside and out. So thanks, Cassie, for sending me that recording. So as I've said throughout here, this is called Stories of Hope, and this is your story. So we would love to hear your story, no matter how big or small in your mind the accomplishment is. There are no small steps. We'd love to hear even the small accomplishments that you have found through your Soul Naturals journey. So reach out to whomever added you if you have a story or if you have a question as well. And we would love to either feature you in our Facebook group or have you on one of these Stories of Hope editions. And I also want to remind you, if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to join the One Soul Facebook group. Or if you're watching us on Zoom. If you're watching us live on Facebook in the group, you already know about it. So that's awesome. In your case, go ahead and hop over to our YouTube channel called One Soul. Make sure you hit subscribe so that you'll never miss one. So thank you guys for hopping on another edition of Stories of Hope. Thank you, Denise, for sharing your expertise. It was so fun. I always learn from you, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Thanks. Bye.